This is a Louie Tee Network exclusive.
Who else could it be? Me. Your me. Louie Tee, welcome. You are in the lab room. Of course, I'm your host, Lou. Thank you for joining me. On the 2016 NFL Draft Prospects 101 series, your guys is with the biggest and hottest name, 2016 NFL Draft. We're talking linebackers, and look, everybody's looking for their, Ryan Shazier. Everyone's looking for their difference maker at linebacker. Everybody's looking for their Luke Kuechly. They're out there. You just gotta find them. Maybe this next guy could be that guy for your defense. Talking about a guy that not a lot of people are talking about, and I wasn't really paying attention until Mike Mayock said, "Hey man, you need to pay attention to this dude." I said, "All right, Mike, I'll check him out." And so I did. And what did I find? An impressive linebacker that could help someone with a little bit of fine tuning at the next level. I'm talking about LSU's Deion Jones. Let's talk about Deion Jones and how he could be a draft pick in the second or third round that helps the team in 2016 and beyond. We start with his pros. He's an athletic linebacker. His athleticism, it stands out. You see it, you know when you see athleticism on the football field, and you see it with Deion Jones. Speaking of athleticism, it lends us right into this next pro. Speed! 4.59 40 is what he ran at the combine. And you said to yourself, 4.59? It's not that fast. Why are you bringing that up, Louie Tee? Hey, would I do you like that? Would I lead you astray? Come on, man, you know me better than that. The man just ran a 4.38 at his pro day. Wait, let me say it again. The man just ran a 4.38 40 at his pro day. Now, let me say this. I know you just had to catch your breath, okay? That's some Shazier type time. Let me kind of rein you in. Let me pull you back in now, okay? Yeah, I know 4.38 is ridiculous. And it was at his pro day. You always got to take that stuff with a grain of salt. Look, 4.59 and 4.38, that's a big ass discrepancy, okay? If he would have ran a 4.49 and then ran a 4.38, I'm like, look, fast is fast. He's fast. 4.59 to 4.38, okay, something's wrong. Now, I heard a whole bunch of people saying he was zigging and zagging at the combine when he ran his 40, which slowed him down. Whatever. He's not a 4.38 guy. I don't think. There's no way you run a, because even if you mess up at the combine, you're not running a 4.59 if you ran a 4.38 at your pro day. So let's say he's somewhere in between there. Let's call him a 4.45 guy. Either way, that's blazing fast, okay? Dude is fast. So any way you slice it, Deion Jones is an athlete, and he can run really, really fast. So that's something that you get with the Deion Jones package. Plays with pop is the next pro. I love guys that come up and there's a little bit of shock and awe and violence in their hands. He's not afraid. He's running it again. And again, one of these smaller linebackers, we'll get to that later. Okay, we'll get around to that later. But just know, if he's supposed to be in the A-gap, guess what? Deion Jones is showing up in the A-gap with his hard hat, lunch pail, ready to do some damage, okay? Don't mistake him for being a small linebacker that's not going to step up in that hole and be physical. He's not Darren Lee. He's not one of these guys that's not ready and up for the challenge where you're like, I don't know about Darren Lee taking on a blocker necessarily. That Deion Jones is willing, ready, and able to take on a blocker in the gap and get the job done. Plays with sideline to sideline range, that's the next pro. Again, I just told you the guy's fast. I'm not saying he's 4.38 fast. I don't think he's 4.38 40 fast, okay? But he's somewhere sub 4.5 fast. I believe that. I can believe it. Okay, you don't make a mistake and run a 4.38 if that's what he actually ran his pro day. I'm gonna say they shaved off a couple of, milliseconds, tenths of a second, whatever the hell seconds it is. They shaved off a couple of those. So we're gonna call that about a 4.45. Either way, that's still blazing fast. So he can go sideline to sideline. You saw it on tape. If you put the tape on with Deion Jones, he's running sideline to sideline, and he hustles, okay? You don't have to worry about this guy giving up on a play or not giving you maximum effort. He's hustling from snap to snap, whistle to whistle, from sideline to sideline. You're getting that from Deion Jones on every single play. Plays assignment football, okay? For a guy that waited for his turn at LSU, everything that you see with Deion Jones makes sense. He's a team captain. He's a guy that had to wait his turn behind Quan Alexander at LSU. So when he finally got his opportunity, he was ready for the challenge. He was up for it, and he went out and took full advantage of his opportunities when he finally got his name called to be in the starting lineup. And he's a guy that when he comes in, when you tell him, hey, Deion, I need you here, Deion is there, and there's no hesitation. He knows what he's supposed to do, and he does it. There's something to be said about, again, and I say this all the time, everyone on your team can't be a superstar. You need role players. You need supporting cast. Everybody can't be the leading man or the leading lady in the movie, okay? There's got to be some supporting actors and actresses, all right? And same thing in football, same thing in baseball, basketball, every sport. You need role players, man. You need guys that just know their roles and shut their mouths, okay? Like a wise man once told me, know your role and shut your mouth, okay? Some guys, you just want them to do their job. Bill Belichick always said, the wise man once told me to do your job, okay? Deion Jones is one of those dudes that does his job. He's supposed to be in that B gap, he's gonna fill that B gap. He's supposed to be in the A gap, he's gonna be in that A gap. He's supposed to scrape, he's gonna scrape. That's Deion Jones in a nutshell. Diagnosis plays well. Again, smart football player here, a guy that you'll see him doing some things where you're just like, hey, that was pretty savvy on your part. You know, he diagnoses plays well, he sees run, he reacts to run, okay? Now, sometimes I think he could have a little bit more instincts. Okay, you see run, you trust your eyes and go much faster than slow. But that's for another day for Deion Jones, okay? One thing at a time. The man is just getting his feet wet. You can't expect him to do everything overnight, but he does diagnose plays well. It's a pass, he's dropping into coverage. It's a run, he's going up the field and he's attacking. He's supposed to be in the A gap, blowing up this play. He may not make the tackle, but you're not coming up this A gap. That's Deion Jones. He diagnoses plays well and does his job to the best of his abilities. Can drop into coverage. I just told you that he can drop into coverage. And there was one play, they're playing against, I can't remember what's the team, but he drops into his flat zone, and the quarterback being harassed is under duress, throws off his back foot to the running back out of the backfield who's being covered by Deion Jones. Deion Jones says, oh, really? You're going to throw me a lollipop? Cuts in front of the pass that's you just well underthrown, shouldn't have been thrown in the first place. Again, quarterback under duress makes a bad decision, and Deion Jones made it a worse decision by picking it off and taking it to the crib. Touchdown, pick six. He can drop into coverage and make some things happen. So that's something else you get out of Deion Jones as well. Special teams demon, okay? If nothing else, forget about everything I just told you about Deion Jones. Forget about it. Forget about it, okay? If you get nothing else from Deion Jones, you will get a special teams football player day one, okay? Say he's not ready to step in and play linebacker. Say you don't need him to step in day one. Say he's not ready mentally. You can't grasp everything you're asking him to do. Forget about all of that. Deion Jones will step in and be the best player on special teams on your football team day one. That's what you're getting from Deion Jones, regardless of whatever else you get from him as a linebacker. Special teams wise, Deion Jones will step on your team and be the best special teams player you got day one. That's the kind of football player you're getting. That's the kind of mentality you're getting. Team captain, a guy that did not start throughout his career at LSU, was the team captain his last year there because he was respected amongst his peers because he was a guy that did all of the dirty work. He was the guy that took all of the jobs other guys didn't want to do. Never complained. In fact, he relished the opportunity to get down there. Even when he was a starter, he relished the opportunity to get down there and make a tackle on special teams. Day one, you're getting a special team standout if you get nothing else, and you gotta feel good about that if you're a coach at the next level looking at Deion Jones. Last pro, upside. Look, here's a guy who didn't start but 1 year at LSU, and he made the most of that 1 year. But with that being said, there's a lot of room for growth for Deion Jones at the next level. So if you're a coach and you look at the tape, you say, man, there's a lot to work with here with Deion Jones. And he's still a guy that's not set in his ways, that can learn a lot at the next level. So I think there's a lot more growth and upside left in Deion Jones. Not saying that these other guys don't have that, but those other guys have 2 and 3 years of playing time, starting starting time under their belt, whereas Deion Jones was like, hey man, I just had 1 year, man. I had to make it count. So I think there's a lot of upside left, there's some untapped potential in Deion Jones at the next level. You go to his cons, you start with his size. He's undersized at 6'1", 222 pounds. Look, the knock on him for a lot of people is that he doesn't have a frame that can stand to gain a bunch of weight. He's not going to be one of these guys, oh, he'll just, the misconception that we all have as viewers of the game and observers from afar is that, oh, he'll get in an NFL weight training program and he'll just gain 10, 15 pounds of muscle. He'll get bigger. Don't worry about it. That's always our assumption, is that he'll get in an NFL weight training program and they'll put on 15 muscles a pound on him and he'll be fine. No, okay? Not every guy can gain 10, 15 pounds of muscle. Don't think that they didn't already try in college. Don't think that everyone is built with a frame that's, able to withstand another 10 to 15 pounds on it. That everyone's not built like that. Your body has a set point that it's used to, and for some people, their body type is what it is. You can't put a lot more weight on it. That frame that he has, I don't know if he's getting 230 pounds from 222, which is where he is right now. I don't know if he can get to 230. And so he might be what he is, but he looks the part though. You got some guys that don't look the part of a linebacker. He looks the part of a linebacker, even at 222 pounds. I'm willing to look the other way if you are, because again, where this league is going with the linebacker position, you can get some guys at Deion Jones' size that can still bring the hammer and do some things in the box. So I'll look the other way at his size. If you're willing to look the other way at his size, we can make a pact together that says, hey, if you don't pay attention to it, neither will I. 1 year wonder. I've already spoken to this, but let's kind of go deeper into this. He only had 1 year of starting at LSU. Again, he was behind Quan Alexander, didn't get a lot of playing time at LSU in terms of starting, so he made the most of his opportunities on special teams and was a standout there. But in this 1 year that he did get to start this past season, 100 tackles, 13 and a half tackles for loss, 5 sacks, 2 interceptions, one of those going to the crib. To me, that's a plateful right there. I mean, the man put in work this season, gave himself a chance to be a high draft pick. And with those numbers, with the tape that I saw and the upside from just starting 1 year, you can look at it one of two ways. It's a con because he only has 1 year of heavy production, or you can look at it as a pro. He's got upside. That 1 year was great, and I think I can make him into an even better football player with more experience and time. So, look, it can go both ways. I love the production in that 1 year, but again, it's only 1 year, so we'll see what happens with him at the next level. In the last con, he's raw. And again, that comes from lack of experience. And it's not a lot of things. He's a little rough around the edges, man, but it's what you expect from a guy that hasn't played a bunch. Sometimes I think he needs to trust his eyes and have better instincts and fire off the ball, okay? They snap the football, you know it's a run, you see it's a run, go and attack that run. Don't wait for the blocker to block you. Go and attack that gap and get in the backfield and make a tackle for a loss. He can do that. And I think with time, he'll get more depth at doing that. He'll be better at that. So I'm not worried about Deion Jones and him being raw or any of those things. The only thing I worry about a little bit is his size. But again, with guys like Telvin Smith being on the field at around 215 pounds, Deion Jones will be just fine. But that athleticism, his willingness to do whatever it takes to make a play, his tenacity. I like guys like Deion Jones. I root for guys like Deion Jones, and I expect him, if nothing else, to be able to go and be the best special teams player on your team if he is drafted at the next level. And that is something that has to be comforting for a team, knowing that if all else fails, I'm getting me a really good special teams player, if nothing else. That's Deion Jones, linebacker out of LSU, and his draft prospect 101 breakdown. If it happens in the National Football League, whether big or small, we cover it all here in the lab. Come back and join me as I continue to break down anything and everything in the National Football League. I got more L.B.s to break down. You know it's true. Girl, you know it's true. Ooh, 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 I love you. So come on back so I can break these linebackers down, man. See you next time. There's plenty more where that came from. While you're here, subscribe to the channel. If you want more Louie Tee, be sure to follow me on Twitter at In the Lab Room, or you can like the Facebook page at In the Lab Room. That's In the Lab Room on Facebook and at In the Lab Room on Twitter. Don't forget, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so.